how do we stop our fear from driving and instead push it back into the passenger seat? Well, there's many different ways that we can do that. One way is to calm our nervous system with breathing, particularly belly breaths, really like feeling it sink low, because often when we feel fear, it becomes a very shallow breath and a very tense breath. So slow, deep breaths, diaphragm breaths, really calms our nervous system and signals to the brain that we're safe, and it can turn off the alarm. A study from the Harvard School of Medicine found that deep breathing actually activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which counters that stress response. We'll put all these studies in the comments for you guys so that you guys can dig a little deeper if you want to research that more. You can also label the fear. So just naming what emotion you're feeling is going to reduce its intensity. Dr. Daniel Siegel, a neuroscientist, coined the phrase name it to tame it. I've talked about this before with anger. But encouraging your child to say, I'm feeling scared, or I'm really worried, or I'm really anxious, will absolutely lose its intensity and help them feel better. So you can also then ask, what else are you feeling, and keep that going, and it will only calm more and more. It also activates the frontal cortex, which is always a good thing. So you can problem solve, communicate, and plan, and also fact check. And that by nature, reduces the amygdala activity. Thirdly, we can reframe the fear. So once you have named it, you can start to think about what's the worst thing that can happen. And again, we're tapping into those what if fears. And then encourage your child to fact check whether those what if fears are in fact based in reality, or whether those are simply stories that we've told ourselves. What often happens is that we recognize patterns that might not actually be based in fear. So if something bad happens on the way home from school, for example, we might think that our brain starts to fill in the dots and fill in the holes with a story that makes sense to us. And that gets cataloged, for lack of a better description, in our brains as a pattern. And that pattern may not be actual, based in reality at all. So fact-checking whether that was actually the cause of the bad event, and whether that really is a pattern or whether that is a one-off, is really important and will help ease the fear that we're feeling. So teaching our kids to fact-check their fears reduces the concept of catastrophizing.